Republican Senator Roger Marshall, who represents Kansas, joins us now. It's terrible damage, especially in towns like Andover, but it could have been worse.
You're right, John. It could have been a lot worse. Thank goodness for the National Weather Service, local TV stations, radio, local preparedness people who got people through this. 1,000 homes were pretty much destroyed Friday night. Today, those folks are waking up, picking up the pieces. I've been through this too often with other communities, trying to find that picture that was used, treasured so much, some mementos. Especially want to shout out to those kids at Prairie Creek Elementary who lost their school, and just reassure them that their parents and local school officials are working for a place for them to finish up grade school this semester.
Yeah, there's some of the footage on the screen right now. I mean, that is just a terrifying sight when you see that thing coming. I suppose it's worse when it's coming at you in the nighttime and you can't see exactly where it's going, but that is just a frightening picture right there.
Yes, sir. It sure is. They sound like a tornado coming at you. Again, I've seen too many of them. Thank goodness nobody was killed.
Yeah, there were those 3 University of Oklahoma students who were up in Kansas working on the storm. They were meteorology students, and they were killed in a traffic accident trying to go home. That's just so the tragic. Worst kind of thing.
So tragic.
Well, our prayers and thoughts are with the people of Kansas as they rebuild. But again, you can rebuild buildings. You can't rebuild lives. Let's talk about the border crisis. You are particularly incensed at what's going on regarding the fentanyl that's flooding across the southern border. Talk about that for a moment.
Well, look, Kansas is no longer a border state. This problem, this crisis has been brought to Kansas. Just this past week, I learned of a boy that I delivered. I'm an obstetrician and delivered him 15 years ago. Died probably from Percocet laced with fentanyl. 2 young students, boys from Kansas City area died. 2,500 Kansans overdosed in the past 3 months. Over 6 tons of fentanyl have been apprehended at the border since President Biden took office. It's truly a crisis, and the sad thing is it looks like this administration wants this crisis.
And 6 tons apprehended. Yes, we have no idea how much has gotten through.
That's right. So talking to the Border Patrol there, I've been there 3 times now, looking forward to a 4th trip on May 23rd, because that's when Title 42 ends. But the Border Patrol tells me for every ounce they catch, maybe 2 or 3 more ounces get through undetected.
Let's look at some of the numbers from the Del Rio sector. That's one of the busiest sector for border crossings along the southern border. In 2021, 68,000 and change came across there. 2022, 195,289. And again, those are the apprehensions. That doesn't count the number that, gotaways. That's a 185% increase in numbers, Senator.
Yeah, John, I want to bring this home to Kansas. Kansas, a population of 3 million people, at least 3 million people have been apprehended since Joe Biden was sworn in. And again, to your point, probably 2 to 3 times more than that have been leaked through. And then finally, as we get through May 23rd, if Title 42 is taken away from us, those numbers will double again.
But, the Homeland Security Secretary says, hey, if we find these people, if we catch them, and they're not entitled to stay in our country, they're going back. How do you answer that?
Well, I just don't see that happening. They haven't been able to handle this number of people, and those numbers are going to double and triple. And again, just think about what the cartel is doing. They're using these human shields to smuggle in narcotics, and then they throw a kid out the boat when they're about to get busted, and then they make the escape. So there's no way that we have the ability to handle 2 to 3 times the amount of crossings we have right now. They're thinking about making our veterans hospitals shortchanged by taking doctors and nurses from there and sending them to the border. We already have a problem with the waiting times already with the VA hospitals.
Yeah, Secretary Mayorkas was on the morning shows this morning, and one of the things he said is, hey, we're getting the message out, do not come to our border. How are they getting that message out, Senator?
Well, certainly that's not the message people are hearing across the world. I think President Biden has been loud and clear saying, come, bring us everybody. We're here for you. And when you get here, you're going to get free health care, free food and water. So they're treated better than our veterans are. They're treated better than our soldiers are. So here's Mayorkas today. But for over a year now, this president has been saying, come everybody, you're welcome. The gates are wide open.
We had a report top of the hour about how Speaker Nancy Pelosi took a Democrat delegation to Kyiv to meet with President Volodymyr Zelensky. I was curious, why no Republicans? Would this not have been a good time to do a bipartisan trip?
You know, it sure would have been, and I assume that nobody was invited. But here's the question. Was this just all show, or is this administration going to finally come through with some serious sanctions? All you have to do is look at the value of the ruble. The value of the ruble is now above what it was pre-war. So the sanctions are not working. This White House has dragged their feet in implementing them. Even a lot of the energy sanctions on the banks in Russia have not been implemented yet. So we're hoping it's not all show, that there'll be some go there for this administration.
I want to play very quickly something from your Republican colleague in the House, Victoria Spartz. She is a Ukrainian. She was born in Ukraine, now serves in the Congress. Listen.
If you look about from last package, 13.6 billion package, only 3.5 actually went to military aid and not all to Ukraine. We need to ask questions what's happened with the rest. I'll be honest with you, I've been in Poland twice, I've been in Ukraine twice now, and I haven't seen evidence of a lot of this humanitarian assistance. So I would like to ask this question.
She's saying that about $10 billion from the last package that was, supposedly dispensed to Ukraine didn't get there. Where's it going?
That's a great question, John. I was in Poland fairly recently, and I think that's the same challenge. It was easy to get items to the border, but then get them past the border. There are lots of supply chain disruptions. That's going to continue to be the challenge. And again, we hope this administration is ready to engage now. It's day 67. We're the leader of the free world. It's time we start acting like it.
All right, so you're not one of those who says that the Europeans ought to be doing more.
Oh, Europeans absolutely need to be doing more. They should be leading on this, and I've been saying that since the beginning. We don't want this to be Russia versus America. We need the European Union to be leading. They have the financial whereabouts to do it. They need to be leading as well.
All right. Senator Roger Marshall from Kansas, Republican. It's good to have you in.
John, thank you.
Enjoy your stay in New York.
Great to be here.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.